Well, thank you guys for hanging around. I appreciate it. Unbelievable game. But couldn't ask for a better way to cap off, a season in Strahan Arena. You know, Jeff Foster's court. I'm proud of these guys. They fought. It wasn't always pretty. That's a hell of a coach team, a tough, gritty team, talented. It's no secret when you watch them play why they're in the top three, of our league, finishing top three of our league, and that's a guy that's been coach of the year in the league before, and you can tell he knows what he's doing. But I think the night is for our guys. The night is for these seniors. Bryce is amazing. I love him to death. I'm definitely going to miss him. He's the guy that makes all of this thing work from behind the scenes with Coach Prop. And then see Nix, although we only had him for a year, if we could keep him longer, we would. But guys like Sykes stepped up and made this night memorable, and so did Dante Horn for those seniors. So I appreciate them for their efforts. And man, I'd be remiss if I don't say this about this crowd was amazing. I was shocked to see it like this, and they did a good job, and they willed us to a victory.
What does it say about this team, especially when it's on senior night, the final game, playing here at Strahan for this season, to play against a top three, one of the top teams in the conference, and being able to pull out a win like y'all did today, especially when y'all kept hanging in there and when the opportunities came out to the
Yeah, confident believers. You saw what we looked like when we weren't confident, and what they looked like when we weren't. But then when we're confident and we're playing and we're out here playing free, and not caring, who gets the credit, then hey, I like our chances against anybody in this league. So it just says that the guys figured it out and that they've grown and matured throughout the course of the season.
This is the second, top four opponent that's came into Strahan and lost. App State lost earlier in the season. Now Troy took an L. What is it about playing out Strahan that just brings out something in these guys that y'all want to translate that when y'all go on the road?
Yeah, we struggled last year playing at home. These guys had it in their mind they want to protect home and play with some pride here, and I thought that they did a good job of doing that this season. So, kudos to those guys. They found a way to get themselves up and ready to play here, and obviously it's one of the best atmospheres in the Sun Belt. So, in my eyes, it's not that hard to kind of get yourself up and ready to play here.
Davion Sykes, it feels like, career night for him. Felt like this is almost like his coming out party, even though he's been doing it over and over again. But what is it about, putting up 30 points, especially when he's an underclassman playing making sure he's going to send out these seniors on the right note?
Yeah, he was focused tonight. Like, if you look at him, he had no flex, no flinch. From start to finish, he was aggressive, getting downhill. He didn't settle. He played his game. Davion didn't do anything that he hadn't done all season, like you said. So credit to him for believing in his work and what he's been doing, and feeling like, man, I'm good enough. I don't have to step outside of myself to do what I did tonight. And I think the best thing about it is he didn't hunt. He took advantage of what was there. He's one of the quickest kids from end to end, and he's a good finisher.
And then, Dante Horn, it feels like this was his coming out party. I feel like every shot he made was such a critical shot, especially in overtime, to keep going in this game. What about, especially when he's coming in, when Caden's hurt, just stepping in a role and being able to come up big?
Yeah, listen, man, you can't play them all. At the end of the day, you got 5 guys that can play at a time. Dante's a talented kid, and throughout the course of the season, we got rotations that we're trying to fit in and things of that nature. And sometimes it can be a numbers game, but he stepped up tonight. We took advantage of his opportunity. We rolled with him, and he's a good player. Clearly, you can see that. And we're gonna need him a little bit more of that, because Caden is, he's a little bit banged up right now.
Putting up 80 points tonight, what was the key to kind of getting that offense going, especially, and just trying to keep, when Troy was seemingly trying to put this game away, y'all were, still keeping up with them?
It's a great question. It was spacing and ability to get downhill. They did a phenomenal job of boxing us in. We turned it over because we didn't have great spacing, and when we start setting the ball screen a little bit higher, we start creating chases, and then we start playing out our opportunity. It opened up the floor for us and gave us some confidence.
I know the defense did give up a little bit of a lot more points than y'all usually want to allow, but they also, it felt like they kept y'all, the defense kept y'all in the game. You know, Troy never got to a big enough hole where like it was too. How proud are you for this defense, even though the point, allowing that many points isn't what y'all typically want to give, but still being able to keep y'all in the game.
Yeah, I think most of those points, you know, to be honest with you, man, that's a good team. But, man, we can't foul the way we foul. We just fouled too much tonight. You know, those guys, they've shot 60 free throws in 2 games on this road trip. You know, obviously they're a downhill team, but we fouled way too much tonight. So it's a good officiating crew. I can't blame them. This would have been a tough game for anybody to officiate. You know, the head of official, the lead official, he's a Big 12 official. This is a tough game to officiate. But, you know, we could be a little bit more solid, more sound. You know, not play with our hands so much. But, listen, that's a good team. I thought we got quality shots when we needed them, and then we started snatching up some boards. But offensively, the offensive rebounds is what stands out to me. I wish we didn't foul as much, but we got quality stops when we needed them.
You know, what does it mean to get a big win like this as y'all head into the conference tournament?
Yeah, it's momentum. You know, at this point, you know, I guess you're going out there just 0-0, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's what everybody got to understand. We all on, no matter when we play, you know, you got to win to move on. So, you know, I think for us, you know, I'd rather be going out there with a win against a top 3 team than a loss. You know, I think if we can keep this momentum, clearly, you know, we see that we can play with anybody. So, you know, it's cliche-ish, but it gives you momentum and gives you confidence going into it. So hopefully we keep that hunger and we keep that focus.
You know, for these graduating seniors on this team, what's going to be their lasting legacy as they move on to the next step in their careers?
Yeah, you know, I think for Chris, I think he's done a phenomenal job of making us feel like we can take a chance on a 5th-year guy, you know, to transfer, you know, if we do our homework. If he comes from a good family, if he's about the right stuff, he's probably one of the most unselfish players on our team, and he's a very mature guy. For Bryce, man, I don't know. You know, I think when it comes down to it, you know, Bryce probably leaves a little bit of a legacy that stretches probably beyond most. I think he's touched so many people, from administration to the players to the coaching staff. You know, he's a phenomenal young man, and I think that he's a star in the making in the business, whatever it is he wants to do, however he wants to do it. So, you know, we're definitely blessed to have him, and you know, I think the sky's the limit for the young man.
And now y'all go on the road to Pensacola conference tournament. With all the success y'all have at home, how do y'all translate that on the road compared to last season, where like y'all were really good on the road, but not as good as?
Yeah, I just think that, you know, at the end of the day, we got to be who we are. You know, if we can get back to guarding the way we're capable of guarding, we can execute, and we can, you know, guys can step up and showcase their talents within the scheme of the offense and the culture of the team, and then I think we like our chances.
Looking at this game with the high attendance, do you think that had an impact going into the game, especially looking at overtime? Do you think that had an impact on the results of the game? Just all the support that Texas State had tonight.
Yeah, I think it not only had an impact on the game, but had an impact on the whole season. Home games were significantly better. You know, these guys kind of get up. You know, some teams they do it for the fans, and these guys they tend to do it for the love and support that they get here. Yeah.
What are the main factors going into the Sun Belt Championship that you're going to be focusing on both physically and mentally to prepare yourselves?
Yeah, I think the most physical, from a physical standpoint, we got to get the proper rest and hydration and nutrition. I think that's the first thing. We had a rough road last time, and we didn't necessarily take care of our bodies. We ended up cramping up. Tyrell went into a full body cramp. You know, Nigel went into a cramp. You know, Mason was dehydrated. We had some issues. You know, when you got to play that first day, it could be a little bit challenging. You know, from the mental standpoint, is being able to shorten practice. You know, give them small doses of what they need. You know, for us, you know, we're likely playing against a team that we don't know much about from this year. So, but it's fine. You know, we got to be us. They don't know much about us either. So we're not going to overstimulate these guys. We know that they, you know, got a quick turnaround and things of that nature. So it's all about us managing ourselves and understanding that we have enough to win a game.
Do you know Caden's injury status for the tournament? Is he going to be out?
I don't. But if he wasn't dressed tonight, you know, it's a quick turnaround. Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, guys, congrats on the win. You know, it's always a big thing to close out Strahan on a win, especially when it's against one of the top teams in the conference. So, what does this mean tonight?
Nah, it means a lot, especially since the fact that, we built that momentum from, Tuesday. And now the fact that we're going on, another win today, we're on a roll now. So, we got to keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, this season we had a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of injuries, but we fought through it, and today showed the work we put in and day out in practice with Coach TJ against each other. We put in a lot of work, so tonight showed that we don't lay down and that our hard work actually pays off. I mean, it's not over with, but it's a roll.
You know, offense was getting really hot, 80 points in a career high for you. Davion, career high for you. What was the key to getting this offense rolling?
Coach TJ, he seen the scheme, the defense they were playing, and he drew up plays and told us to, play out of opportunities. And so he trusts me to be on the ball. And when I went down here, it was obvious to find him open because he kept cutting. So, I guess that's what you can say.
Yeah, like you said, Coach TJ, he was drawing up stuff. And, we just had to execute. I know we struggled in the first half trying to execute. And then at that point, it just became like run our play, and if we can't run the play, then we just got we have to hoop. And I think just finding each other open, it really helped because we just got easy buckets.
It felt like a big theme in this game was almost like the metaphor of cutting down the tree. Y'all were Troy never got to a big lead, but y'all kept cutting the lead down until y'all sent into overtime. What was the key to keeping up with Troy's pace to be able to tie the game and then winning in OT?
Like you said, we just kept chopping. We just kept picking at them. That's all we could do. We just had to keep fighting. Like I said before, we play the game as 4-minute games. So in that second half, it was just 4-minute game. We just had to keep winning a 4-minute game. So, just every 4-minute game, we just kept poking at it, whether we won or lost each 4 minutes. So.
Yeah, to pick back off what he said, we played every 4 minutes as we have to win this 4 minutes. We gotta win. And we didn't lay down. We didn't lay down at all. We just kept. They scored. We'll come back and score. We'll stop them. So we just kept pushing it towards them until they gave out. And once we found out they gave out, we pushed over them.
It feels like Strahan for y'all is a really tough place. App State came here. They won the regular season championship. They've got a loss here at Strahan. Troy's got a loss in Strahan. What is it about playing at Strahan that makes y'all so much tougher?
It's the atmosphere. It's home. The fans really get into it, and we want to thank the fans because without them, we probably won't be how we are. And it's being home. We have to. Coach TJ say we have to protect home. You'll never let somebody come in and take over your place. So that's how we play it.
Yeah, protecting home was a big thing this year, especially this year, seeing as last year, we really couldn't protect the house. I feel like especially as the returners, we made it a big thing to protect the house. Because, last year, every time we lost majority of our games here. So, it's just a real big thing, to lock in and focus. And you have to use your home as an advantage. You're not traveling. You're not as exhausted as you are on the road. So I think we use that as an advantage, and we come out with a different energy.
Davion, career night for you, 30 points, first Bobcat in quite a while to reach that mark. And what does it mean to reach that mark?
It means a lot. I was just playing. I really didn't know I had 20. Once I figured out I had 26, I was like, oh. So I was half the time I was just hooping. I was really just trying to keep getting the win. So it means a lot. But I was just hooping today.
Dante, feels like a really big coming out party for you. You just kept hitting big shot after big shot to keep the team in it. How were you able to kind of keep that momentum going and just keep your team in the game, especially in critical moments?
Once Coach TJ he pulled me to the side, he was talking to me, he was telling me to get in the ball. I seen that he trusted me to handle this type of pressure, and me being me, I'm a confident player, so whatever I seen, I took. I just tried to play the game as solid as I can, and Bassett just kept going in, kept finding him. It was just something I love doing. I'm glad I was able to help us win. You know, it mean a lot, and it mean a lot to see that Coach TJ has trusted me with the ball.
You know, y'all battled hard against Troy in that late in the second half. Y'all were able to tie it in the game into overtime. What was the message going into overtime? How were you able to kind of finally put Troy away for this huge win?
The message was we had to come out and fight. We got to be tougher. We had to we can't lay down. We had to keep pushing forward because as bad as we played the first half, we was still in the game. And that was probably their best they gave. And we haven't played our best the whole entire half. So it was just play tough, play hard, and don't lay down.
Like he said, I mean, he was really, him and Close and Benson were really the main ones preaching, like, we haven't really had a good half, and we're still here. So, I mean, just by, like, them telling that, we kind of did, like, a reality check, and we're like, bro, like, now we have to hoop. Like, we're still here, and we're having a bad half. So, I mean, just coming out with a different energy in the second half, you know, I mean, it really helped. So, I mean, shout out to those guys for, you know, like, speaking life into us because, I mean, like I said earlier, like our bench has been key to our victories lately. So I mean, big ups to them.
You know, y'all send out this graduating class for their final win here at Strahan. What does it mean to send the seniors out with a dub?
It means a lot. I know my dad says it's always, you know, good to win your last home game or last game ever. So I mean, I know for them it's a big thing, you know, to get a dub at the end of the day. So, I mean, that's all we could do for them. So, you know, kudos for them, you know, trusting us and letting us, you know, get the dub for them.
Yeah, it actually do. It means a lot to see that Chris Nix, he had a smile on his face. You know, he was a senior, probably didn't play much tonight, but to see that he still had a smile on his face and he actually said a couple words when he was in the locker room about the win and how he appreciated us, it just, you know, it kind of shed it was like a shed a tear moment because it's like, wow. Yeah, that's my guy, and we got this last win for him.
Now y'all move on to the conference tournament, you know, brand new season. What's it going to take, especially that y'all play so well at home, to take that momentum y'all built up playing at home to translate it into Pensacola?
We can't get comfortable. I mean, we take this win, enjoy it, but tomorrow, the next day, we got to let it go because the conference is a new battle, another battle, and we got to stay focused. And you know we got to come out and execute. We got to play as hard as we did today. We can't get comfortable over this win.
Yeah, like he said, can't get comfortable. I think we got comfortable after that 4-game win streak. Went on the road and got hit by South Al real bad. So I mean, I think that was a very learning curve for us. So I think I'm very confident into us going to this because I mean we learned from our mistakes. So you know, can't get comfortable, and I feel like we all know that, and it's gonna be a different vibe and different energy for the Pensacola trip. So.